Do it.
And we're live. I'm pretty sure it's working. Fabio, how you doing, man?
All right. Not too bad, my man Jason. What's happening?
Nothing. I have to say that today I've been like, I feel like, really being trapped now at this point. I can't
Weeks
wait.
go by. We just survive.
Yeah. And I kind of wonder about even, it still doesn't feel right to like go out and mix up with people, you know? It's like a weird feeling.
I
But
know.
yeah, but we'll see.
Actually, I felt this way. This morning, I was like, I took my wife. We went out for shopping. We were buying pottery because
Pottery.
like the pottery shop was open. Was open, and then we went for a walk to the seaside north of Tel Aviv, and Foot Locker was open. And I was like, and I spent money that I'm not making at the moment.
Yeah.
So probably I should have stayed home.
But I have to say, I've spent a lot less money in the last weeks than normal.
How do you do? Make a tutorial, upload it. I want to see.
We did spend more at the grocery store than ever before, though. I have to say, we ate a lot. We ate a lot.
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
How many kilos did you gain?
I think 1, 2, not so much.
Jesus fuck! I think I'm gaining all the kilos that people are not gaining. Like they're all going in the same place. Should I?
Are you just like eating all the time? Congratulations.
Is it a girl or is it a boy? It's a burger.
The heart attack burger. 7 pounds.
The heart attack burger.
7 pounds of meat. Yeah,
Man,
so
it's
I
so
think
nice to catch up, and I'm so excited about today's guest.
Yeah, me too. So as you can see, we have Eric here today. That's what we promised. He is here. He can hear what's going on. He can see what's going on. But before we bring him on, I first want to show something that I saw this week, which I think is super cool. I was looking. I follow Jan Urschel, who is a concept designer on Facebook, and he is doing a lot of stuff with Blender and Octane and paint overs and so on. He's worked on all kinds of big movies, but he's a really interesting guy, and he's sharing a lot of times tutorials of how to use Blender and Octane and those kind of things. And he shared a service which is in beta in one of his videos, which is quite interesting, and I'm going to put it up here now. This is called ShotDeck, and it's basically a resource for cinema screenshots, basically shots from films. I'm not 100% sure what it's supposed to be for, but what they say it's for is for people to get inspiration and to put together, like sort of mood boards and things, anything to do with film. But the crazy part about it is how the database, how you can search for anything. Like you can search for by shot type, by color, by everything. And I'm just going to do a quick type in Kubrick here, makes the most sense, right? Start with Kubrick.
Safe choice.
I like that that the shot that was up there right there was Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. But so you get this list of all these shots, which is totally crazy, like from all of his movies, and you can filter it like by different size of thumbnails, full shots by movie, even from him. So it's like each row is from each specific movie. It's a little slow right now. It's in beta, so it probably tells you something. But the other cool thing though was that you can, it's like not working now. but anyway, there it goes. It just went to the to the film per film. You know how each shots from each film. Um, but you can also on the left hand side here you can like drill it down by what kind of movie. I mean by genre. It's crazy by shot type everything. So shot type and then I don't know high angle shot and then it'll give you a list of all the images they have from all the movies with this kind of shot angle. You can do it by color. It's crazy. I mean it's really crazy and it's in beta and you can go there and sign up. You know, ask to be a part of the beta. So if you want to do that, I would say go ahead and do it. It's a really cool little thing here. I would also, if there's some place in there that you can write in, I think like how you found out about it or whatever, and you can put my name or don't leave it blank, doesn't matter. But give me some props. You know, that's what I'm saying. Give me some props.
D2 channel.
So anyway, I just thought that was cool, and I wanted to show that to you guys because sometimes you know we're always looking for things from specific movies or something like that that is like on top of our mind, and it's hard to find. And then I mean, this thing has like everything in there. It's pretty amazing. So
oh man, if you just want to use like the time that you have from this quarantine to just take one shot per day and try to sketch it or reproduce it in 3D. That'd be a great exercise to improve your skills. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. And I know there was another small thing that happened like yesterday. I don't know if you saw it, Fabio, but something about Unreal Engine, right? Like they released a new video about some new version. Did you see that?
Really? No, I didn't. No, I did not see it. I did not have like 5 million posts on my timeline.
Under the radar, right?
Yes, absolutely. Way to go undetected on Unreal Engine.
I mean, of course, I'm really curious.
The thing is that...
Yeah, go ahead.
No. Like, okay, they did a great job with the launch and the demo was amazing, but I really want to see all those improvements because as far as I'm concerned, every time that I tried that software, I put my hands forward. Yes, it's me. I'm not the greatest 3D user out there, but like retopology, shaders, and all that stuff that it's supposed to be super simple. Not that simple.
Yeah, I'm curious about it. I mean, on the other hand, we're going to have Eric on and we can talk about this as well because it's something that I always think about when he gave the talk at the D2 in 2018 and how we as, visualizers have the ability, because we're also involved in design, we have the ability to design things. It's like new things that maybe, in virtual worlds that didn't exist and so on, this kind of stuff. But the thing is that it's all moving toward how much more realistic can it be. And the thing is that's kind of sad in a way, in my opinion, because it's like you're losing the fantastical things that you could create. I mean, you could create anything, right? But everything has to be based on something that the mind understands, I guess. I don't know. I just think that it is amazing technically, like how they can make that stuff look so realistic in a video game. But at the same time, it's like, well, yeah, okay. I mean, perhaps there's a better usage of it, for scientific things or for virtual tourism or something like that. But I don't know. I just feel like you're missing something when the fidelity of realism is supposed to be so the most important thing. But anyway, it was cool.
Andras is saying that I should be trying harder to make it work between me and Unreal Engine. I know, guys. If you want, I'm available for tutoring. I'm a sponge. I'm SpongeBob when it comes to learning. You just give me stuff and I'll learn it. If you want to take the time, I'll start learning. But you gotta teach me because I cannot do it by myself. I tried.
Keep talking, Fabio.
Jason,
I'm posting the link here. Keep talking. I'm posting the link for the.
Are we gonna introduce today's guest?
Go for it.
Are we gonna keep him for ourselves? Ladies and gentlemen,
we have
we have tonight on the show one of the nicest yet darkest men from the industry. Eric de Broche, the scum. Eric,
We need an
you
applause
are the
sound.
founder of Luxigon, the Illuminati of archivists.
So
We
Eric,
are
you're on
honored
now.
and privileged to have you
Am
here.
I online now?
You're
Because
on, yeah.
you talk. I never know what's happening. I mean, this is like I'm just a doll
Yeah,
in your
man.
hand, right? I'm a rag doll in your hand. So
This is an improv show, Eric.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I never know if I, for example, you were talking and everything. I didn't know if I was on screen or not. So I was, kind of nosing a little from time to time, doing a little, like. Unreal 5. See, so I never know exactly what's happening. I don't do interviews. I don't do talk. It's just because it's you both. And because we are keeping it just for ourselves. I mean, you promised me that it would be no one watching this.
Yeah, we're live, but
We
nobody
only-
watches our channel, so it's fine,
Yes.
Okay, that's super.
Yes.
Yeah,
I want you to keep it like that, like friendly, just us. We're good.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry.
Yeah, no.
But anyway, Eric, we have a tradition which has started a long time ago, 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
of asking a round of fire questions to our guests, just to
Okay.
break a little bit the ice.
Okay.
I've got
Now,
some.
these questions are totally random,
Yeah.
and they might have nothing to do with you,
Okay.
but
They
they might
probably
have
do.
everything to do with you.
Maybe, I don't know. I've got some good ones for you, man.
The question is,
We'll see.
question is, are you ready,
Are you ready?
Eric?
Shall I answer the question? Is it starting? It's starting.
That's
Yeah, here's the first
before
one. Are
the-
you ready or are you not ready?
Ask it again.
ready or not ready? So he's ready. I guess he's ready.
Okay,
No,
Jason,
is it starting? It started.
Okay,
right?
I'm starting.
It started.
Eric, I'm starting.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Say it again.
Are you ready? You ready? Okay.
Do it, man.
Elvis or Little Richard? Pick one.
I don't
Gotta
know.
be faster.
I was not expecting that at all. This genre politics.
You're
in terms
wrong.
of Elvis, but I'm not very sure. Elvis.
Okay.
Elvis.
Okay, Mafia Time Vegas or Sinatra Atlantic City?
Oh, Mafia Time Vegas.
Okay. Pulled pork sandwich or ribs?
None of them really. Like no.
Oh. Okay.
No.
Too
I
messy.
mean, no. Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I have the choice in the answers, right? So no.
Yes. Coffee or tea?
Okay.
Coffee or tea?
Bats.
Bat the blood
I drink bats, man.
the blood of bats.
Don't drink coffee or tea. I
okay.
fucking drink bats. Oh, blood.
And this one is especially for you living in Paris.
Okay.
Bus driver
Okay.
strike or taxi driver strike? Which one would you choose?
I'm more. I like both equally. Actually, I can go to the office. So I don't really care.
okay, you could have a third option, which is SNCF strike.
This I don't like. It's because mostly we are paying a lot for a lot of strikes. So that's.
Yep.
It's funny to pay for emptiness. It's like buying nothing, but very expensive. Don't start me with this sort of stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Actually, that was one of the questions that I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Like,
do you like
what is
strikes?
what is one of those things that you would spend a lot of money on, and if people knew it, they would go like, "Are you crazy?"
That's a good question. I really have to think about it.
I think I can see it behind you. Some of
They
it.
have strings.
Weapons, that's for sure. I mean, you have to be safe. You have to feel safe at home. So this counts everyone, including when you have guests that are a bit loud or something like that. That counts everyone. I mean, but spending a lot of money on something and people will say, "Are you crazy?" I think it's mostly all the time that things like that are happening. I never had anyone saying, "Wow, you bought something actually useful."
What was the last? What was the last purchase then?
No, I have this horrible. I cannot resist guitars. That's. I think I bought my last guitar every month or every year actually. Every year I'm buying my last guitar. I just can't. I mean, I always need one, and it's not even that I'm playing well. It's just that I can't. It's like a drug. I have to, and I have a bit this fetish for synthesizers as well. So I'm always, I'm buying stuff that I'm not always using. I'm faking using them a little. So from time to time, I'm pressing a few things. I'm, wearing headphones and say, damn, the sound is good. Well, actually, the machine is switched off. So.
You like the clicking sounds that it makes when you push the button or something? Just the click.
Yeah, just. Yeah, but actually, it's all of that.
Why do you say a fetish about synthesizers? What is that makes you like them?
I like blinking lights. I'm not kidding. I've seen blinking lights.
No. I've heard somebody saying the same thing. That's why I'm asking.
It's probably coming from the Close Encounters movie. I mean, I see blinking lights. I feel like something special is going to happen, and I have to buy it. Thanks God, sometimes shops are closed. So because when I think after 30 seconds, I don't want to buy it anymore. If the shop is open, I will buy it stupidly and regret it like immediately, and then sell it back because it's I think it's like drugs. So you just some sort of a machinery that is happening.
Eric, do you know there is?
You had a million guitars and synthesizers that you never used, and it's beautiful.
Do you know there is this little tool? It's from this company called Teenage Engineering, and it's called OP1.
Yeah. Well, shall I show you mine?
That one's super.
Do you have one?
It's just there.
Because that's the thing. Like
the box is here.
I'm not a musician, but when I see that thing, I say I want to have it.
Yeah.
So
I will tell you something.
Do you use it,
Eric? It is a very. So I know how to use the OP1. Turns out that there are a few machines that I actually know how to use. Yeah. It's worth it. Yeah. It's very small, and it's very funny. And there are a few engines because there are different sorts of synth engines into the OP1, and actually they are working now. It's hard to do something really serious with it. So it's just parts of the. If it's part of your studio, it can work. As a solo machine, it's a bit ambiguous. I never managed to record something. There is a recorder inside the machine. I never managed to really make it work. But apart from that, I'm using it from time to time. Yeah. So no, it's properly designed. The design is beautiful. You want it's like a Brown, it's like the Brown design. Everything that was designed by Dieter Rams, for some reason,
exactly.
Even if I don't use it at all, I mean, even if it's a telephone, a landline, for example, who would buy a normal telephone with a clock? I like 5 Brown clock, all late, and it's just like I think the time is better with a Brown clock than with a regular clock.
But so let me ask you this too. What's your main keyboard back there that you use as your main MIDI?
That's a MIDI keyboard. That's just a master keyboard. But my favorite will be the Electron Mono Machine. So it's kind of a weird. It looks like a giant calculator from the 70s. Yeah. It is horribly complicated to master. And it's kind of the most interesting musical instrument that I had. I'm a fan of Electron, so it is after for example a big when there is after when I've worked a lot, for example, like for a month and I need a little satisfaction because sometimes when you work a lot, you tend to forget why are you working for. Yeah. And this is the moment where generally I buy something from Electron. So after a big animation or something like that, I deserve a little present, you see. And I'm good at making myself little presents.
It's like a gift to yourself, a reward.
Yeah, it's a gift to myself. Exactly, a reward for the thing. And this is generally where I buy these sort of things. And I think that the Mono Machine is, by the way, the most expensive piece of gear I've ever boats. It's nothing. It's like 1,000 something euros. So it's not crazy. I'm not crazy with the. I like a lot of little presents over something big. I mean, if you were giving me a Ferrari, I would say, go fuck yourself, man. I don't want it. Okay, it's too much for me. I don't deserve it.
No, because part of the well, that makes sense, because part of the reason of doing this, the giving yourself something, is like it's not just the thing itself, but like the whole getting it.
Yeah,
you know,
it's the reward. It's like
the shopping.
I deserve it so much. I'm simple. I'm very simple for.
I saw a guy. Okay. I saw a crazy guy from Australia. I think he is, like a YouTube video. And he's got a band and everything in Australia. Is like a kind of a jazz musician, and he's got an organ that he basically made himself, a keyboard. It's like a handmade keyboard, and it has a huge bar on the top that goes down into it, and it's a whammy bar, and he can play things and then like with his manually like change the pitch and stuff of the thing manually with this bar. It's crazy. It's like I've never seen anything like that before. He completely created it himself. And it's totally freaky to watch. I'm going to send you a link afterwards, Sam.
Yeah, I want one now. I mean, this is exactly...
He's going to have to build one for you.
You just put the seat. Now I want that machine. They are blinking lights as well. I mean, tell me there are blinking lights.
There are some lights, yes. There's a couple lights on it.
Okay, if there is light, I want it.
He's even got a video where he opens it up and shows all the parts. It's like crazy. It looks homemade. Like it's completely... But it sounds really cool.
Okay, but Eric, is this what happens in the office when you give revisions to the artists that work for you? Like you just tell them put some lights?
No, I don't give revision. That's for start. Everybody knows me, so I'm never never interfering into the process. I come, I hit my bat, and I just go away. That's mostly what I'm doing at the office.
Eric, I have a personal experience of knowing you for many years now, and you're one of... It's actually a fucking long time, huh?
Yeah, I know.
Do you still remember the first time that I came to pick you up?
Yes, on your enormous motorbike.
Can I tell the story?
Yes, of course.
So
I make it look nice, though.
I will make you look incredible.
Okay? That was fearless.
I went to pick up Eric in Vienna because he was coming to speak at our conference, the first D2 conference that we organized. It wasn't called the D2. And so I called him up and I said, I'm coming to get you and I'm coming with the motorbike. Is that okay? And one of the first phone calls that him and I ever had, he says to me, I am afraid of nothing. So I'm like, okay.
And Italians, when they are saying, I'm going to get you. I mean, this is...
I get on my motorbike.
They say, I'm going to get you on a motorbike. You feel a bit like, no, I'm not sure.
I get on my motorbike. I go to the Sofitel because that was the deal that you wanted to stay at the Sofitel. So we put you in the Sofitel, beautiful hotel.
Huge mistake.
It was 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And you had 2 cigarettes, one in every hand.
Yeah.
And they were light up. Yeah. And I said to you, why do you have 2 cigarettes? And you said, I don't like to have my hands empty.
Yeah.
And so I was like,
I was young and wild at that moment.
And you're not anymore?
So
I mean, not young, but wild.
I drink coconuts.
Dude, you look younger, to be honest with you.
Huh?
You look younger, and you're wearing orange. What the fuck is happening?
I don't know. I just I don't know. Something I changed during this Corona moment.
Man,
I feel like I will, play the harp, drink coconut milk.
You're glowing.
Yeah, no, you know what? I replace cigarettes by a wooden spoon.
Really?
I have now 2 wooden spoons that I'm using, and instead of smoking,
you're like holding it.
It's a lot of it. Well, I don't have it here.
Yeah.
But if you're having a wooden spoon in your hand constantly, it creates something, an impression. And if you have 2 wooden spoons in your head, I mean, this is like, and people will ask you, what are you doing with the wooden spoon? And you never answer that question. And this is how you become a myth. Just explaining your success so you can create your own success. I mean, this is it's very easy.
But I have to say, you really look good, and it feels like you lost weight also.
Yes, I also did that. The thing is that I discovered something. I should not say that, but thanks God, it's just the 2 of us, but the 3 of us, so I can say it now. I had a little health problem at some point, and the doctor said that if I drink again, I would die immediately.
Oh.
And I choose to listen to what he said. I mean, you know, and I discovered that there were mornings. I mean, that really, I mean, because I probably spent most of my life with a headache in the morning being, you know, 1:30 p.m. You know, not really remembering what happened the day before, and you know, or reading text messages saying, "Oh, the fuck, what happened? What the fuck happened?" You know, this kind of anxiety that you have in the morning when you had a bit of an ethylic evening, and now that I'm drinking mostly water, and doing sports, yes, I can say it now.
You're
I'm
doing
making
sports?
I'm making my coming out now. I'm doing sports. I went back to sports.
What are you doing?
And it's not so. I discovered that it's not a legend that if you don't smoke like an ass, drink a lot, and actually do sport, you feel better. I never
thought it was
I never
bullshit.
even. Yeah, I thought it was really bullshit because, you know. And it's actually
No,
kind
wait.
Eric,
Hold on.
yeah,
You're
hold on.
running too fast.
I have to ask. I wanted to ask too, Fabio, and then exactly what you're going to ask. I mean, you're asking more like an open question, but I want to ask a direct question because it's going to mean a lot about like how I view you, Eric, as a person. Okay?
Yeah, I know.
Are you doing yoga?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm as flexible as a brick. So no, don't freak out. I mean, I reasonable. I'm being reasonable here. I'm still smoking like a lot. You know, there's all sorts of other stuff that you can take that can replace alcohol. I mean, so it's not like suddenly I became, you know, but no, yoga, no, of course not. I mean, never.
Never.
No, never. No. It's too much for me. This.
So, Eric, I'm sorry, but unfortunately, with Jason asking that question, I cannot get that picture off my head of you wearing yoga pants.
Well, I think.
Yeah, me neither now. Thank you very much for that.
I think it would be like.
There are yoga pants. What? There are yoga pants. Really, so you say?
Yeah.
Of course.
You cannot wear normal pants.
It's like bicycle pants that go all the way down to your ankles. That's how I would describe it.
That's interesting. Okay.
No, but Eric, you know,
and they elevate
I didn't think
glutes.
you were going to say yes, so I felt it was a safe question to ask.
The yoga? No, don't push it, man. Don't do that.
But which kind of sports are you doing then? Just walking and?
Oh no, mostly I'm beating kids. It's super nice. You just buy a stick and you attack kids in the streets randomly, and either they run fast, so it's good for you, or the parents are running after you. And anyway, you run a lot, so it's excellent.
It's a running cycle.
Yeah.
Now, did the doctor suggest this? As a
You know, doctors, they always say the same things. It's super easy. You have to stop to do everything you like.
Yeah.
That's basically what you want. You want to live long. You stop doing everything you like. Okay.
I had a doctor tell me that too. One time, he said.
Yeah.
He said.
No, he said.
Yeah, tell me.
Of course, that. Yeah. If I could accompany. I can put now. I want to scout if I don't find the word, okay?
It's okay.
I'm fucking French. I'm talking in English all the time. If I could, if I want to have my misery complete, I should do sport on top of not drinking and not smoking.
Yeah. I had a doctor tell me one time, he said, because it was I was there about the the heart thing, because I have it in my family, whatever, heart problems, and he was like, you need to eat healthier. He's like, the basic rule of thumb is, he's like, if it tastes good, don't eat it. I was like,
Yeah, that sounds pretty much
I was
like
like, wait. He was like, anything you like to eat, don't eat that anymore. Eat something else.
Yeah, exactly. Everything you don't like, you can take as much as you want.
I was like, well, that
Here you
sucks.
go, broccolini.
Well, I can tell you for sure, and I'm not a diet expert, but Nutella does not get you slim.
No, but no, of course.
But
But
it
you
is
cannot
delicious.
really die from it. I mean, this is also Nutella is not pushing you to do crazy stuff. I mean, you don't start to beat your wife because you had too much Nutella. So it's kind of a safe. Nutella is still okay. It's
a safe food.
That's why they call it. That's why they call it.
Kill you.
Well, I heard people hitting each other in a relationship when the partner finished the Nutella.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but it's probably a relationship you want to end anyway, because that's not normal when things are going like that. That's the truth.
But now you know what I'm doing at home to try and eat a little bit better. I'm baking my own bread.
Oh, well, everybody's doing that, huh?
And this is really good because it takes 7 days to make the starter, right?
Oh, you're doing sourdough.
And you have the sourdough, and you have to get it right. And so it's been 3 weeks that I've been trying, and I did not manage. And so we're not eating bread.
So your whole plan here is
It's really good.
Wait a second. This is the new weight loss plan, or what? Try to make sourdough bread, and if you can't make it, you don't get bread,
and never eat it.
Why don't you go into something like really serious? Like try to do your own Nutella.
Oh no, man! I need to have.
You just drop a few nuts. You stick tons of oil, a bit of chocolate, and there you go, man. You can do, and you will be self-sufficient. I would do that if I were you. I mean,
no, man. No. I cannot do. I'm too faithful to the company.
Yeah, okay. This I can understand.
I'm
the same with cocaine, so it's, I understand.
I hope one day they're gonna discover me and sponsor me.
You mean Ferrero?
Yes. And the way I want them to discover me is that I get so big that they see me in the horizon.
Okay.
Like, oh, that guy's eating Nutella.
My doctor would say it's not a good plan.
Stop eating that.
You should eat water, drink water.
Fabio, does it taste good? You can't have any more.
Then you eat water and you become. You are in perfect health.
You will be
water,
liquid.
But Eric, jokes aside, it seems to me like over these few weeks, we've been talking to a lot of artists that do, the work that you do. And there is always this connection with music, which of course, music, it's a form of art. But it seems to me like that there is such a strong connection between making music and making visual art. Have you ever thought about this? Like, have you ever thought about this liaison, this link between the two disciplines?
I think nothing. That's the beauty of it. I need you to help me think about it. Damn, why? You're right. There are a lot of people. You're right.
Shut up.
Yeah. No, no. Actually, they even being the Nutella, there is a good question. I think that you do visualization when you are a fair musician. Also, I'm glad I haven't done music because I would really, it would be very problematic these days, because earning money with music is it's hardcore. It was still possible in the in the 80s, 70s, until the 90s around, but now it will be very painful. So, but it's kind of the same. I mean, I prefer music over drawings. But unfortunately, it seems I'm better at drawing. So.
This is always, isn't that a big problem?
Yeah, no,
The
but
thing that you
I mean,
actually like
sometimes
to do.
No, and it's good because actually you do better music when you know that you are not good.
No pressure.
I can take all the risk now. I mean, I will fail anyway. So to the point I am, I can do the things I want. I was taking it seriously until there was, the option to do it for real. But I'm too bad for that. So now I can really do what I like.
But do you think that kind of logic applies also to making images? It doesn't.
I don't think fair musicians suddenly decide to do architectural visualization. Like I don't play guitar good enough. Maybe I should learn SketchUp.
But
I'm a pianist.
But Dead Mouse.
No, I don't think it's possible. If you find one, then I'm interested to meet him.
But now the interesting thing is you got a guy like Dead Mouse, who's he's a very successful musician, but he's over here playing with Octane and rendering stuff all the time. Like he's like his hobby. So it's like the opposite.
Really?
Yeah. Dead Mouse is like an Octane user. He's like.
No way.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, but the thing is that in the good old days, renderings were taking so much time that actually you had time to to play music. I'm not kidding. Most of my waiting for previews, you could learn
That's
whatever
true.
musical instrument I have 17 hours before the previews come out. Maybe I should learn the harp. My harp. You had plenty of time. Now it's super fast. Fucking GPU kill the music. That's a theory that I have. GPU is going to kill your life. It's so fast. People will ask for things all the time. I want to go back to slow rendering.
Do you remember? I came to see you at the Pixel in Vienna the year before that you came to the D2, or maybe 2 years before. I don't know.
Many years before.
Yes, I was still a student, and I remember you saying on stage, "Yeah, I don't do reflections in the rendering because it takes too long."
Now, reflection depends. It has happened. I have to say that I'm using reflections sometimes when I'm doing rendering.
Really?
But, yeah, but no, I mean it's true. Doing if you had, for example, a glass window in front of your computing it will have taken like a month. So I learned to fake a lot of things in Photoshop. No, it's bump I'm never using.
Bump.
I have no bump policy.
No bump policy.
No, I don't believe in bump. I'm sorry, but
no displacement.
No, displacement is different.
Okay.
No, displacement is okay.
Yeah,
displacement is okay.
If you need to,
it's the upgraded form of bump. I mean, it's the only form of bump. But bump, no bump. Bump never. Just the word is making it not serious. I mean, it's literally telling you not to use it.
Let me ask people watching from home. Is that true that because there is like 75% of your office is watching now?
And my mom, so it's like.
Is it true that there is no bump policy at Luxigon? Do you have it like written at the entrance?
Yeah, no bump.
Please, no bump.
We never bump. We bump not.
Eric, what was it like to grow up in the Unité d'Habitation? What is it called?
In the what?
Is it called the Unité of Habitation? What is it called?
L'unité d'habitation, la cité radieuse.
Unité d'Habitation, oui.
It was funny. You want a longer answer that it was funny, right?
I want a very long answer.
It was what was like the social makeup of the place at the time you lived there?
It was insane. It was a beatnik community full of computer programmers. So really, it was a modern ring when my parents arrived in Marseille. Nobody ever wanted to live there. I mean, in Marseille, you live on the ground, you have a swimming pool, little garden, something. Nobody would want to live in a tall building made of concrete. So it means that it's only the misfits, only the misfits were living there. It turns out that in the end it was more like a good idea, but and so it means that it was young people or losers that were living there, and there was a very special atmosphere that has been lost a little, but still you still find it's people that wants to live there. It's really a choice. So it means that they are in love with the building, and this creating a community. You know that all the friends that I was having when I was at the kindergarten. No, how do you call it? Like this for the small kids.
Yeah, kindergarten.
Like
kindergarten. Yeah, kindergarten. I still my friends now. My class, my entire class, we're still buddies. Some are in the US, some are everywhere, but we're still buddies because we were from the same building.
That's
really funny.
Cool,
I think it's kind of a unique situation that the building is literally the mothership for everyone.
Did you have one of those 2 floors apartment or one?
My mother is still living at the Cité Radio, so we still have I still have the apartment where I was born.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, of course.
Was it one of those?
No, it's a special one. It's one that is in the angle, so it's there are only 2 in the building. It's called H perpendicular. It's one that is not fitting the grid that is like that because it's south facade, so it's at the corner, so it goes up and then it turns. I mean, it makes something a bit complicated. So it's kind of a weird apartment as well.
So I have an update on the question that Fabio asked. Some people in the comments, some people have commented now about the bump policy.
If my mom tell her, I will call her later.
Yeah, okay. So did you hear that,
I'll call
Mom?
you later.
Okay, he's gonna call you.
Okay.
She said, please don't talk about the apartment.
Okay.
No, so Andrea said, I don't have any bump on my Octane, so I guess he's not using it. And
I removed it.
Maria Vittoria Porro said, I use bump all the time, Eric, but please don't fire me for that.
No, I will not.
Okay, good. Maria, you're safe.
She's very talented.
Use normal mapping, okay? Normal maps are okay, but bump is not. Bump is from the 90s.
Normal sounds so... it sounds
no,
better,
normal
too.
is okay. Normal makes sense, but bump not. It's bad. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, I've been in the business long enough, and I can tell you for sure that bump sucks. I mean, you should never use bump. The people who are using bump, they will never meet any success.
It's one of those things. It's one of those things like you talk to artists and they tell you, do not use ambient occlusion.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I'm okay with ambient occlusion. I mean, it's not like I'm a fan, but it's still, I can understand.
Everybody has a theory.
Yeah, of course. I mean, when two walls meet, I mean, it makes sense that it exists.
Yeah, but for me, from my own experience with Octane in the recent year or two, I remember when I used to use like the standard renderer from Cinema or physical renderer. Sometimes you need it because otherwise it didn't fucking work. It would have no. But with Octane and stuff, you don't need this. Corona, all that, you don't need this anymore. The lighting is like more realistic in the way that it hits the walls. So, do you need AO anymore? I don't know.
Well, it's there. You use it. I mean, it's there. Me, so, I cannot remove it. I mean, it's like removing a super nice option that I can have. So I just put it because it's there. I mean, why would?
So you go ahead and render the pass anyway, just to be safe. Render all the passes.
Yeah.
Just so you have them.
You never know. Maybe you will need it. I mean.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay. That was the best moments of my life discussing bump with you.
The highlight of your career.
Hey, Eric, can you like open your computer and show us how you would use it?
Of course.
Maybe.
And I will do it with my 2 wooden spoons, so it takes time to type something.
No, but Eric, seriously, this is one of the things, and sorry if I'm dragging you back to the Unité d'Habitation, but this is like one of the things that has always fascinated me about your story, because, you know, like I heard you speaking so many times at so many different events, but like in retrospective, when you look back, which kind of influences this had on yourself developing as an artist? I mean, I would guess that this must have been a pretty big deal when you understood that the building that you were living in was actually a masterpiece of architecture.
Well, when you're a kid, you don't see that at all. Huh?
That's the thing.
Just that your building seems to be a bit better than the other buildings. But you cannot really pinpoint why, because the only thing that is, because nobody is calling the Cité Radios in Marseille. It's called Le Corbusier. So the only thing that was a bit weird is that the building were having the name of the people who designed it. And when I was a kid, it was kind of a problem to me why not all the buildings were having the name of the people who designed it. And also, if he designed two buildings, do the two buildings have the name of, you know, so see that this is the kind of things that you're thinking when you're a kid. Actually, you don't see the beautiful details, the wonderful, you know, the rampant socialism into the way it was designed, and you just and there's the other thing is that there's in the concrete you use some seashells. There are seashells that are being embedded into the concrete. So this was looking like the coolest thing you could ever imagine. Seashells in the concrete was like, as a kid, this was my favorite feature of the building.
But that was therefore the name La Ville Radios, huh?
La Cité Radios.
La Cité Radios, sorry.
Radios, oui.
Yeah.
But it's only later, I mean, it's only when I turned 40 that I discovered that it was a famous building. And I've learned who Le Corbusier was. I had no idea.
You know, like, I really...
I thought yeah, but it's
okay. No. To me, this is really, really fascinating, because me growing up, I grew up very close to a building that was based on the ideas of Le Corbusier from the 30s, 40s, 50s, and later in the 60s. And so some of the buildings where I grew up, they were built after that type of architecture. The only thing is that where I grew up in the south of Italy, in the outskirts of Naples, all those places, they all ended up becoming like the fortress of like mafia people. Yeah, because by having such big density, people could hide inside.
That's Gomorrah.
Yeah, Gomorrah. Have you seen the movie? I was gonna say it's that building from Gomorrah, right?
It's stunning. No, but it's because it turns out that in Marseille, the Cité Radios finally, because it was not the case when it was built, but it's in a nice neighborhood. It would have been in the north part of Marseille. It would have been. It was the modern ring in the 70s. Huh? It was derelict. Nothing was working. I mean, I was spending more time in the elevator in between two floors at school or with my family. Yeah? There was a when I was a kid, there was people handling the lift, the real you know liftiers or liftmen, I guess. Yeah. They were Vietnamese, and they were not knowing how to count, which is the only thing that you need when you are handling an elevator. I mean, basically, so we were pointing the number, and they were laughing, and we were arriving at a different floor than the one which we arrived. It was part of the charm. It was another era. It was very funny. It was really a very funny building. It's a sense of humor. This building is a sense of humor. People are taking architecture very seriously, but I think that it is one of the part that is mostly missing in architecture. Now, to be serious for like 1 second, is the sense of humor. And I'm not saying a building being shrimps on top of buildings, because this is not funny.
You know, I think as well though that the elevator operator is such a strange job. Like in general, like people are too stupid to figure out how to use the elevator, so they would have somebody who would use the elevator, do the elevator for them. or was it more of a like a
No, it was a mechanical. It was a mechanical
okay.
thing. So I mean that it was closing on kids. If if
I see.
there would be the risk that a lot of kids would have been killed and between two floors, which is not something you want for your family.
Yes.
So you hire people to handle the machine. You see, unless they're drunk, they kill people intentionally. But what is funny is that you will think that question 2 is can you count?
Yeah.
Question 1 is can you move your hand?
Do you
from
know
right
the numbers
to left?
in French?
Yeah. Do you know numbers?
Well, you know,
but the question was answered.
When I worked in New York, I worked in a job, and when I started working in this job, the building was an old like storage building, and they had turned it into like nice offices and things. And the elevator had still not been renovated, and it was an old style cargo elevator, which was basically just a platform, and there was like a cable, right, that went through the elevator, and it was just there. And there was a guy who would sit at the front, and he would take people up and down in the elevator. He would actually have to do it because it was literally a cable, and he'd just pull it like that, and it would start going.
Yeah.
And then it was getting close to the end. He would like grab it a couple times and slow it down, and then it would like stop. It was the craziest thing, and it was actually much cooler than like the elevator they put in there later, of course. But you needed a guy.
No, if you want, you need a guy. But I have. Now that we are discussing elevator, which is my second favorite subject. I mean, when we talk, there's music and then there are elevators. I love elevators. There is in Bremen, in Germany, there is I've seen that because I was doing a lecture, I don't know, a few years ago in Aachen, and we visited Bremen. And there is in Bremen, like it's a nightmare. I'm not kidding. It's a nightmare. There are 2 elevators and they are automatic. You have to jump in them. And they never stop.
They're constantly running, yeah.
They're constantly running. So it means that really it's a life and death situation. Suddenly, taking the elevator is like really dangerous, like Indiana Jones dangerous.
Yeah.
And you start.
I've seen this.
It doesn't seem like so, but you have to jump into the thing, and you imagine immediately that if you miss it, your leg will be taken in between 2 floors, and you are going to lose an arm and everything. And it's the same when you have to go out. I mean, am I too high? Should I jump now? Should I jump later?
Yeah,
literally.
I saw one of these
a nightmare.
In a movie once. I was watching with my wife, and she was like, "Oh yeah, those used to be kind of common here." I was like, "What are you talking about? This is so dangerous looking." She's like, "Yeah, you just jump on, you jump off."
No, but you know your life is in danger. I mean, this is
Eric, I have one more question for you, and then I just need to point out that we're nearing 8 o'clock, which is our deadline, actually.
Or 7 o'clock where we are, Eric.
7 o'clock where you are. We're supposed to make.
I was about to say that the time got super fast. Yeah.
I mean,
it does go super fast.
Yeah.
No, it's true. I mean, I was afraid that it was not going to be interesting, but we spoke about Nutella, bump, and elevators. I mean, what else do you need?
That's going in the description.
Let me just ask you a question. And I want to ask you this because I know that Angelo and Andrea, they're watching. Is it true that now your office, 75% of people can speak Napolitan?
Yeah.
God damn it. That happens all the time. Like Napolitan people, they go places and people learn the language.
Yeah, we didn't really learn the language because it seems like it's not really a language. It's more like nobody can understand exactly what it is. It's mostly so it's not it's not it's difficult to get, but it's super interesting. It seems like we can say in one word what for example German will say in like 15 minutes talking.
It's true.
And it's mostly nobody cares.
So once I was working as a cook before being a designer and so on in a restaurant in Dublin. And so I go inside the kitchen and I get introduced to the whole team. And then this Polish guy asked me, "Where are you from?" And I say, "I'm from Napoli." And the Polish guy in perfect Napolitan says, "Oh, facevi pumarola a San Marzano." I was making tomatoes in San Marzano. I was like, what the fuck? How is this guy talking?
No, but
Like-
it brought a lot of joy. The Napolitan. It's really. I mean, I'm enjoying it a lot. I think everybody at the office is enjoying it. We don't speak French anymore. What the fuck is it useful for? We speak only Napolitan. We just do gestures.
You should
It's
speak
like-
Napolitan and the Viennese dialect only, right? In the office.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Vi steppen or vas, oide.
Even on the phone, we should do that. We should answer
you
only
learn-
Napolitan, like,
Are you learning any German?
ambition.
Ah.
So
I did 8 years of German. I can say a few words like Dummkopf or Hat deine Klappe or Kartoffelteller. See,
So for the listeners out there, if you don't know German, that last thing he said, it means potato salad. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it is. It was well said, right?
It was very good. I understood you.
Yeah, I can say einmal and zweimal, which is something that's you're not used to.
Yeah, but you also need that in the bar.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
This is why I'm saying
get
I
two of
I
those.
don't need it anymore now, obviously. But
And so somebody also pointed out in the comments that this elevator is called a paternoster. That's the type of elevator. This elevator that goes by itself. The paternoster.
But I think that there is only one working in Europe, and I think it's in Berlin. I think. I mean, I'm not entirely specialist. I'm preparing a book on elevators, and I wanted to ask you if you were wanting to collaborate. I mean, it's 6 volumes.
It's from passion.
All the elevators in the world. Elevators. It will call elevators of the world, but that's just a code name. I'm not sure about the.
Guys, what have we learned tonight?
Nothing.
That bump is bad.
It's a good day. We learn nothing.
Bump is bad.
Yeah.
La Cité Radieuse is magnificent.
Magnificent.
If Blade Runner was written in 2020, the main language wouldn't be Japanese, it would be Napolitan.
He said that? I'm not sure he said that.
Now.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Honestly, I just enjoyed spending time talking to you, my friend. It's been a long time.
Too. It was funnier than I was expecting. I mean, I'm even. I'm not saying that very often because I'm not nice. You know that I'm really. I mean, but I even enjoyed it, but not all of it. Some parts I didn't like at all, like the beginning, most of the middle, and a bit of the end. But there were a few that were actually enjoyable, and I thank you for that.
Thanks for
pleasure,
joining us. Thank you.
Okay,
Eric.
so how do we finish that? There is a firework, you said.
I have to ask
Jason.
you. Yeah, what I have to ask you one more
Talk about
question
firework.
though, because at the beginning we were talking about what you've spent your money on, and I made a comment about the thing in the background, and I actually was referring to the instruments, and then you said, "Yeah, I've got the weapons," and then only then did I see that there is actually like an AK-47 back there. Now, I want to hear about that. This is the last thing we want to hear, but I want to hear about that. What is that? Why do you have an AK-47
So it
behind
turns
you?
out that now when I'm doing whatever, people are really into doing this video conferences all the time, which it's something really I hate, but really I hate it. And when I was doing my class, my Harvard class, once I forgot to remove the gun from the back, and all the students were like literally freaking out. I was really having an AK-47 in the back. So now every time I'm doing a lecture, a video or something, I'm sticking it's kind of my mascot. I think it helps the mood because, people are never really listening to you. They start looking at what's happening behind, what you're reading, what sort of guitar it is and everything. But when you put the AK-47, it kind of, it's an object of fascination. People are like,
I think you need like a very, a Southern American style gun rack like on the wall on the white area where I see back there, and that it's hanging there. It should hang
Okay,
there.
I
That's
was
like
thinking about it. I was thinking about it. No, because it creates immediately some sort of ambience, right?
yeah, definitely. It's kind of like a
Definitely. It's like you know, it's a dungeon kind of you know, decoration in the back. I mean, but the weapon rack I kind of like. I would do that next time.
Yeah, good.
Or chain kids. Chain kids are super for video conferences. You cannot beat a kid, you know, chain in your wall. That is
You're gonna attach it to a crucifix upside down.
Excellent. Now we are getting ideas. Now we're talking.
Okay, great.
Okay.
We're gonna get a lot of
It's a
viewers
real
now.
one, by the way, huh?
Jason, I guess it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric, thank you very
it's a
much
chicken wrap.
for joining us.
It
had a
was
really
a
good
pleasure,
time.
guys. It was really a pleasure. I'm glad to see you. It's a long time we haven't. Well, I've seen you in Ukraine, Jason.
Yeah.
But I'm missing Fabio. I've seen you in Ukraine as well. Now that we're talking about it.
I was there.
I fucking forgot. And I was like, no, man, there was Fabio as well. It's super slow in my head now. I'm joking. But, I mean, yes, of course, I've seen you like not that long ago.
Okay, thank you for being irrelevant. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry, I just literally forgot.
Mwah. Don't worry.
I love you. I love you,
I
man.
love you too, dude.
Well, cheers, guys.
Yeah, Eric,
Disconnect
thank you
me
so
now.
much, and thanks to everybody for joining us.
Don't go anywhere, Eric. We're gonna stop the stream and then we're gonna say goodbye again.
So
Okay, super.
we will see everybody for the next one next week. We don't know who's going to be on yet. That's how we do it. No plans. We have no plans. So, but Eric, thanks again, and Fabio, you too. It was fun.
Jason, my man, thanks a lot. It was fun.
All right.
Oh.
Bye-bye.
Guys, good night.
Wow.
Good night.
Wow.